Alright, so you may have already seen this clip floating around YouTube or Twitter or Reddit, especially if you were somebody that kept up with the whole controversy around Rooster Teeth over the last year or so. Adam Kovic has finally broken his 1 year silence on his debacle, shall we say, and the situation that sort of led to this point in time. And I gotta say, let me get one thing out of the way first. What Adam did was not as bad as what Ryan did, at least as far as what the public knowledge is. It's important to have a grain of salt, and that grain of salt right now is that we don't know the true extent of what exactly happened between Adam and the rest of Funhouse. We know what we publicly know, which is that Adam cheated on his wife and that Adam did a few things here and there that obviously he wasn't proud of, like recording him and his wife having sex and then showing it to people and not asking for her permission. But none of the same allegations that came against Ryan, like having sex with underage girls and grooming people, really came towards Adam's way. Really, it was kind of more just the fact that he did some of these things while he was on the clock at Funhouse, and that he did some things that, again, were a little bit too voyeuristic and came across as creepy, which to the public was just like, okay, well, that's bad, and he did deserve to be fired, but it did seem like some people kind of overreacted about it, right? Again, the grain of salt is that it has been alluded to by Bruce, by Lawrence, by James, by Elise, that there was more going on behind the scenes than we were really truly aware of. Now, I don't necessarily think that they mean that so much in a way that, like, I feel like if what was going on behind the scenes that we didn't know was so bad that Funhouse wouldn't have said anything about it. Because the fact of the matter is, if it was truly that bad, we would have heard at least one or two things. You know what I mean? So with all that being said, Adam Kovic has officially posted a video to YouTube explaining where he is and what the future holds. So in this video, it's actually pretty short. It's under 4 minutes long. Adam basically just gives like a very short apology to the fans. But more importantly, and something that I think was a little bit more mature on his end, was he clarifies that the last year was not spent in anything other than repairing his relationship with his family, with his friends, and with his wife, which again is what he should have been doing. Now, obviously, again, we don't know the validity of his claims. We don't know if he actually has been seeking help. We don't know if he's been in support groups. We really don't know if any of that is actually true. But let's assume that it is true, and that's why he made the video. In that case, I am pretty proud of Adam Kovic for actually going out of his way to find help and going out of his way to seek the better version of himself that he knows that he can be. I do not believe that people are beyond forgiveness. I do believe that sometimes there is just a right way to do things and an incredibly wrong way to do things. And like, this is a perfect example of just the complete polar opposites making different decisions. Because when Ryan Haywood tried to make a comeback and try to like apologize and have like this whole, like, I don't really know what to call it, like he tried to have a comeback and it was so forced and so uncomfortable, and he just didn't acknowledge the problem at all, and all he did was just try and like get back on Twitch and try to like have his old life back without actually doing anything to improve. And he did it like just a few months after all the allegations got like really heavy. So it felt completely incongruous, and it felt like almost insulting to the fan base who were just watching this, and they were like, yeah, okay, man, but like, you know, it hasn't been that long and what you did was pretty fucking bad. So then in comparison, you know, Adam taking his sweet time to actually update everybody and taking a while to sort of just focus on himself was just a nice change of pace to see, considering the bad taste in our mouths that Ryan left us. Additionally, I did like how Adam did say that he's not really planning on just disappearing into the woodwork. He still wants to do creative stuff. He still wants to put himself out there. He still wants to showcase his skills to the world. And frankly, I hope that he continues to do that. Adam was one of the bigger editors and one of the bigger like graphics creators over at Funhouse. And for a lot of people that watched like their older demo disc stuff, Adam was one of the biggest reasons why that series was so funny. Now, I think it's important though to kind of conclude with a little bit of a personal thought. It's very difficult for me to look past that grain of salt that I mentioned. It is very difficult to just kind of give Adam every benefit of the doubt and say, okay, you know what, like, you fixed everything, welcome back, my friend. It's obviously not quite that simple, but the difference in between these two apology videos is that Adam seems to actually have that knowledge. He knows that he hurt the community, but he knows that for as bad as he hurt the community, he hurt the people closest to him far worse, so the community isn't really his priority. And that is the part that convinced me more about this apology than anything else. Because the apology wasn't really about the community. It wasn't about coming out and going, hey guys, I didn't want to make this video. That's not what it was about. It was about Adam Kovic coming out of the woodwork and saying, hey, so here's what I've been doing. Here's a very brief sorry to you guys, but more importantly, here's a clarification on what I've been doing in my personal life to get better with the people that mean something to me. And don't get me wrong, I'm sure the community does mean something to Adam, but at the same time, I mean, I would hope that his family means more to him than the community does. So for me, I think this video was a welcome return. Even if it isn't the official return of Adam Kovic, it just felt nice for him to be back even for just a little bit. I hope that he continues to get better. I hope that we continue to see more of him. And I hope that as long as we're not missing any sort of important context that paints him in a much darker picture, that he continues to be healthier, continues to be closer with his family. And yeah, I hope we get to see what he has next. But thanks for checking out this video, guys. I just wanted to give you this brief update because the video just came out today and I thought that it would be good to have sort of an update on it. Be sure to leave a comment down below on what you think about this. I'm sure there's going to be lots of thoughts about it because Adam Kovic was a really big member of the community. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, like the video, and we'll talk to you next time.